The origin of what is now known as Monster Beverage Corporation dates back to 1935 when physician Hubert Hansen and his three sons founded Hansen's Juices in California, United States. At the time, the country was in the midst of the Great Depression, and many entrepreneurs were seeking creative ways to support their families and innovate in small businesses. The Hansen family's idea was simple, yet innovative for its time: to produce natural, fresh juices without preservatives, using citrus fruits harvested in California. Initially, the products were handcrafted and sold locally, especially to health food stores, regional markets, and diners in Los Angeles. The juices were transported in glass bottles and delivered directly to establishments, a completely local operation. During the 1930s and 1940s, the consumption of industrialized beverages was still limited, and the concept of a natural juice without chemical additives attracted the attention of a niche group of health-conscious consumers. Over time, the brand earned a reputation as a symbol of quality and naturalness. Throughout the first 2 decades, Hansen's remained a family-run, artisanal business. During World War II, 1939-1945, the company faced difficulties obtaining supplies and packaging materials, which temporarily limited production. However, the war also created an opportunity. With imported products becoming scarce, consumers began to value local brands, and Hansen's benefited from this shift. By 1950, the company was still operating on a small scale, but had already established itself as a respected regional brand in Southern California. National or international expansion was not yet a goal. The focus was on maintaining quality, personalized service, and customer loyalty. This period laid the foundation that, decades later, would allow the company to evolve, reinvent itself, and ultimately give rise to the global brand we now know as Monster. From 1951 to 1960, Hansen's Juices maintained its position as a solid regional brand in Southern California, still under the control of the Hansen family. Post-war America was marked by economic growth, urbanization, and increased consumption of industrialized products, bringing both opportunities and challenges for the small natural juice producer. In this new context, consumer habits began to shift. Artificially flavored soft drinks, modern packaging, and mass advertising campaigns began to dominate the market. Major brands like Coca-Cola and Pepsi were rapidly expanding, offering sweet, carbonated beverages that were easy to distribute, often at competitive prices. Hansen's, on the other hand, remained focused on natural juices made with fresh ingredients, positioning itself as a healthier, albeit still artisanal alternative. Its products continued to be delivered directly to local markets and restaurants in glass bottles, not competing directly with industrial sodas, but rather occupying a niche. During this period, the company slowly expanded its product line, including new combinations of citrus and tropical fruits, and began selling at tourist spots and cafes that valued local products. The company's branding reinforced its image of purity, authenticity, and family tradition. Even without major investments in marketing or national distribution, Hansen's grew organically, supported by loyal customers and a growing interest in natural foods. A movement that, although still small in the 1950s, began gaining traction among health-conscious consumers and premium retailers. Operationally, Hansen's remained a lean company, with few employees and production limited to what could be delivered regionally. The company faced increasing pressure to modernize its processes, but resisted using preservatives or artificial formulas. By the end of the 1950s, Hansen's Juices had established a solid reputation as an honest, natural brand true to its Californian roots. It was still far from being a giant, but it had preserved the values that would later form the foundation for its complete reinvention. This decade was crucial for strengthening the brand as a genuine alternative to the traditional beverage market, even in a quiet, regional way. In a world increasingly standardized by corporate giants, Hansen stood as a symbol of authenticity, something the public would only come to truly appreciate decades later. From 1961 to 1970, Hansen's Juices continued operating as a family-run business, rooted in the values of natural ingredients and regional service in Southern California. The 1960s were a time of major cultural and social transformation in the United States, and while the beverage industry leaned heavily toward industrialized soft drinks and nationwide branding, Hansen's remained firmly committed to its niche of fresh, preservative-free juices. As supermarkets expanded and food distribution became more centralized, small producers like Hansen's faced growing pressure to adapt or disappear. But instead of mass-producing or compromising on quality, the company reinforced its identity as a local, trustworthy, and health-focused brand. Its juices were positioned not just as refreshments, but as lifestyle choices aligned with wellness, purity, and the Californian way of life. During this decade, Hansen's began experimenting with limited distribution beyond Los Angeles, targeting upscale grocery stores and health-conscious outlets in other parts of California. However, the company kept its production modest, prioritizing freshness and the integrity of small batches rather than scaling aggressively. Innovation came through new juice flavors and blends, often inspired by customer suggestions and seasonal fruit availability. This flexibility gave the brand a handmade, personal appeal that contrasted with increasingly standardized national brands. Meanwhile, the rise of the counterculture movement, with its emphasis on natural living, health, and environmentalism, began to align with Hansen's identity. Although the brand wasn't directly involved in activism or advertising campaigns, its products resonated with consumers seeking alternatives to processed foods and artificial ingredients. Operationally, the company remained small but stable. Bottling processes were gradually modernized for greater efficiency, but without sacrificing the handcrafted feel. The Hansens maintained close relationships with local suppliers, ensuring high-quality citrus and other fruits from California growers. By the end of the 1960s, Hansen's was still a regional company, modest in size, but rich in brand equity among a growing base of loyal customers. It had not yet made the leap to national prominence, that would come much later, but it had built a foundation of authenticity, health appeal, and community trust. This quiet yet steady growth and the commitment to quality would prove essential in the decades to come, when health and wellness would become mainstream concerns and the market would begin to shift toward the very values Hansen's had upheld from the start. From 1971 to 1980, Hansen's Juices continued its steady growth as a respected regional brand in Southern California, maintaining its family-owned, health-focused identity. This decade was marked by significant social and economic changes, including the rise of health consciousness and natural food movements, which created new opportunities for companies like Hansen's. During the 1970s, Hansen's began modernizing its production facilities and distribution methods to keep pace with increasing demand, while still prioritizing product quality and natural ingredients. The company invested in better bottling technology, which improved shelf life without adding preservatives, preserving the fresh taste that set Hansen's apart. The brand expanded its product line with new juice blends and introduced packaging innovations, such as larger bottles and more convenient designs, to attract a broader customer base. Despite these changes, Hansen's remained committed to its artisanal roots, often emphasizing the handcrafted nature of its juices in its marketing efforts. The growing popularity of organic and natural foods during this period aligned well with Hansen's values, helping the brand gain traction among health-conscious consumers beyond its traditional regional market. The company also began forming partnerships with emerging health food stores and natural markets, gradually extending its reach within California. While national soft drink giants continued to dominate the mainstream beverage market with heavily advertised and widely distributed products, Hansen's carved out a strong niche for itself by appealing to consumers seeking authenticity, purity, and wellness. This positioning helped the brand weather competitive pressures and maintain customer loyalty. Operationally, Hansen's remained a relatively small business compared to major beverage corporations, but focused on sustainable growth and preserving its quality standards. Family members were still closely involved in day-to-day management, ensuring that the company's founding principles guided its evolution. By the end of the 1970s, Hansen's had solidified its reputation as a leading natural juice producer in Southern California, laying the groundwork for future expansion and innovation. The decade's emphasis on health and natural living would soon fuel a broader market shift that Hansen's was uniquely prepared to capitalize on. From 1981 to 2000, Hansen's Juices experienced a period of significant transformation, growth, and reinvention that would ultimately lead to its evolution into the global brand known today. During the 1980s, consumer interest in natural and health-oriented products surged, driven by growing awareness of nutrition and wellness. Hansen's capitalized on this trend by expanding its product portfolio to include not only fresh juices, but also natural sodas and flavored beverages, all free from artificial preservatives and additives. The company invested in modern production technologies and expanded its distribution network beyond Southern California, reaching new markets across the western United States. Partnerships with health food stores, grocery chains, and specialty markets allowed Hansen's products to reach a wider and more diverse customer base. In the early 1990s, Hansen's juices faced increasing competition from larger beverage corporations entering the natural food space, but it continued to distinguish itself through its commitment to quality and authenticity. The brand maintained a loyal customer base that valued its natural ingredients and small-batch production ethos. The 1990s also brought about a rebranding effort to modernize Hansen's image and packaging, aiming to appeal to a younger, health-conscious generation. This included updated logos, new product lines, and marketing campaigns that emphasized the company's heritage and natural values. Towards the late 1990s, Hansen's began experimenting with functional beverages and emerging trends like organic certification, positioning itself ahead of the curve in the health beverage market. This proactive approach helped Hansen stay relevant amid rapid industry changes. By the year 2000, Hansen's Juices had firmly established itself as a respected natural beverage brand in the United States, with a reputation for quality, innovation, and integrity. The foundation laid during these 2 decades prepared the company for a major strategic shift that would come in the early 2000s, leading to the creation of Monster Energy and a complete reinvention of the brand's identity and market position. From 2001 to today, Hansen's Juices underwent a remarkable transformation that completely redefined its business and global presence. At the dawn of the 21st century, Hansen's recognized the booming demand for energy drinks and sought to diversify its portfolio beyond natural juices. In 2002, the company launched Monster Energy, a bold move into a new and highly competitive market segment, targeting young consumers, extreme sports fans, and nightlife culture. Monster Energy's launch was a turning point. The brand quickly gained traction with its edgy marketing, distinctive flavor, and high caffeine content, setting itself apart from traditional soft drinks and natural juices. This success catapulted the company from a regional juice producer into a major player in the global beverage industry. In 2012, Hansen's rebranded as Monster Beverage Corporation, reflecting its focus on energy drinks as its core business. The company also formed a strategic partnership with the Coca-Cola Company, which acquired a minority stake and took over global distribution, massively expanding Monster's reach. Throughout the 2010s and into the 2020s, Monster Beverage Corporation expanded its product lineup with new flavors, sugar-free options, and acquisitions of other beverage brands, solidifying its position in over 140 countries worldwide. The company remained committed to its roots of innovation and quality, but embraced bold branding and lifestyle marketing to engage its audience. Today, Monster is one of the world's leading energy drink brands, known for its connection to action sports, music festivals, and urban culture. Despite its evolution, the company honors its legacy of natural ingredients and authenticity through continued innovation and customer engagement. From humble beginnings as a family-run juice company in 1935, Hansen's journey to becoming Monster Beverage Corporation is a testament to adaptability, vision, and understanding consumer trends. A story of reinventing success across nearly a century. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell.